Hello there. Hope you are well and you had a fantastic last week. What I want to talk about this week are those wonderful sales meetings that we have and what I'm noticing in terms of how those conversations are changing, and three things that I think you have to deliver on in sales meetings right now to maximize your chances of getting those proposals over the line. So last week, I hosted a full-day mastermind for my inner circle clients. These are my VIP community of seven-figure business owners that are planning the next phase in their businesses and professions. And we were talking about the challenges right now in terms of business growth in an ever-changing landscape, primarily getting business proposals over the line. Now, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that you've just finished that third cup of coffee for the day and you're about to send out yet another follow-up email. But as you hit send, you can't help but feel a twinge of frustration. Your clients, the ones that you've been bending over backwards to impress, they seem to be taking longer than ever before to make decisions. Worse still, some may have started ghosting you entirely. Does this sound familiar for you right now? Well, if my inner circle clients and the conversation we were having is anything to go by, you're definitely not alone. The business world is no doubt changing right now. And the way in which it is changing as a result of everything that is going on in the world is seriously impacting our potential clients. Our potential clients are currently feeling really stretched in terms of time. The time that they have available at work seems to be getting thinner than ever before. It may be that they're juggling multiple responsibilities. It may be that they're doing the work of 5 people. It may be that they're having to jump through so many hoops to get things over the line. It may be that their diaries are jammed, that actually the current time that they have available is currently being stretched. What I'm also seeing here is that decision times are dragging on. It seems to take forever to get a yes, to get a no, or to even get a maybe. Can you answer these questions? It seems to be dragging out. I've got some clients, by the way, where we're probably already at the 6-month stage between sending a proposal and trying to get to that end result. So decision times are dragging on. And amidst all of this, I think our potential clients, for many of them, are really questioning their own ability, their own confidence, their own willingness to move forward in a direction. So we're being challenged in terms of time, in terms of decision making, and in terms of confidence. And I think how this is then showing itself up is our potential new clients are questioning our value. They're questioning our results, the results that they think that we can generate for them. And I think they're also questioning themselves. I think they're questioning their own confidence, their ability, questioning putting their money where their mouth is, and whether that is as a result of being under the pump, job insecurity, fear of doing the wrong thing, I've got no idea. But I'm seeing these 3 things going on. This questioning of value, this questioning of the results that we get, and our potential new clients questioning themselves. And so what do we do? Well, I see 2 extremes happening right now. One is in our desire to prove our worth, we actually end up chasing really hard. We bombard our clients with more information, more detail, more stuff. We overwhelm them with options. So it's like they're at the end of this fire hose. And the result is our potential clients get confused. They got overwhelmed. It's hard for them to actually see the offer, the value, the benefits, the results that we can get. And so it makes it hard for them to buy us. On the other extreme, we keep our cards close to our chest out of our fear of maybe giving away IP or giving away too much IP, of sharing stuff that other people could copy, that they could take, our ideas being picked up by the competition. What I see is we keep our cards close to our chest and we don't give anything away. It's like we're absolutely silent, not wanting to give anything to our potential clients until they've signed on the bottom line. So essentially, in both of those scenarios, whether it be the end of the fire hose or they're keeping everything close to your chest, what we're actually doing is we're fueling our potential clients and their questioning of our value, their questioning of our results. And within this tension and within this challenge right now, there exists some incredible opportunity. I think this is a chance to really rethink how we sell, how we present our offers to maximize the chances of buy-in and sign off. And I think what we've got to do is we've got to work that little bit harder at being in partnership with our clients. We've got to replace the questioning of our value with our clients seeing the evidence of the value that we bring. We've got to replace the questioning of results with giving them results, of showing them immediately how they can get results. And we've got to replace this curiosity, this concern around their confidence with giving them something that they can immediately put into place that gives them that immediate confidence that they can do this. We want to give them something that's easy for them, that little breadcrumb, that little sprinkle of an idea that they can put in place that builds their confidence in themselves to be able to drive change and therefore their confidence in us. So how do we do this in a sales situation? Well, I think what we've got to do is we've got to really think deeply about turning this tide from presenting our sales proposals in that usual sort of presenting the offer and hoping that they will ask us questions and we can answer immediately, we can get through it, with this need to give value as soon as possible, to get results as soon as possible, and to do it in such a way that it builds their confidence. So first of all, let's talk about giving value. So I want you to remember that your potential new clients are questioning the value that you bring. They're questioning whether you're talking the truth, whether it's real, whether you can really do this, whether actually working with you is going to give them the value that they're wanting, that they're seeking. They're questioning value from the get-go. So we've got to show them value. I want you to think about your ideal clients and think about the struggles, the real challenges that they have right now. I want you to imagine that you have got a room of your potential clients, a room of 50, 100 of your potential clients. What are they openly talking to each other about as their current challenges, the things that are keeping them awake at night, the things that they are worrying about? I want you to listen really hard because your clients are already telling you what those problems are. You know, maybe it's a lack of leads. Maybe it's a confusion around where to start their marketing. Maybe it's around, I'm exhausted. Am I at brink of burnout? Maybe it's about how do I recruit the next best and brightest? How do I hang on to my people? How do I plan my finances? What is the thing that they are currently talking to each other about right now? And I want you to get really curious about what's the sprinkle of genius, the thing that I call the magic pill, the sprinkle of genius, the magic pill that you already possess, that you already do, that you already can offer them that's going to address that particular issue head on. So step number one, the first thing we've got to do is we've got to identify the value that we can give immediately. And that comes from you tuning in your ears, listening very, very carefully to what are the very things that they are concerned about right now, that are their biggest challenges right now. And what is the little sprinkle, the little magic pill that you know that if you give them to them in that moment, it's going to give amazing value. So step number one, you got to identify the value piece. Now, this leads me on to the second part, onto the next part, which is about getting results. Remember, I said right at the beginning of here, I think what many of our potential clients are struggling with right now is they're questioning the value that we bring, and I've just talked about that, We're going to try and find a magic pill, a little something that shows that we bring value. The second thing that they're questioning is, do you really get the results that I want? And so what you've got to now do is think about what is that something, what is that value piece that you can share that you know will give them immediate value, give them immediate results, not value. This may be something that you already do in a phone call. It may be something that you do when you meet them for coffee. It may be something that you do in the very first 30 minutes of working with a new client. For example, we know that our clients generally are feeling invisible. They feel like the world's best kept secret. They're frustrated because they've got significant amounts of experience. They've got results before. They get results for their clients, but they just don't have enough clients. So they're feeling invisible, like the world's best kept secret, and they're so frustrated because there's people with way less experience than them that seem to be getting the positioning and getting the visibility in the marketplace. So we find that many of our clients come to us because they're feeling invisible. The second thing that they talk about is they're struggling to get leads. And it may actually be that they're working harder than ever before, that in their desire to build something of their own and the freedom that comes with that, instead, it's almost like they've bought themselves a job and they're working harder than ever before. So what we've thought about in our business is thinking about what are the magic pills? What are the little easy to implement strategies that I know will create immediate visibility for my clients, that will immediately get them some leads coming in, and that will immediately give them some time to be able to both work on their business as well as in their business without their business becoming shackles around their ankles or negatively impacting their lifestyle. So once again, the value is thinking about the thing that gets results straight away for them. The simplest, most effective action that you know that your potential clients can take that will show immediate benefits for your clients and get them immediate results. I'll give you another example. We have this framework in our business, a spinning plates framework. If you read Be Brilliant, I share it in that book. And essentially, it's on a simple piece of paper. I encourage people to get curious about what plates they're spinning. And I think about this as 3 key plates. I tell my clients to imagine that they're working at the fair or at they're spinning those 3 plates. They're trying to keep them all up high, not falling on the floor and crashing. And I say, you've got these 3 plates. You've got the plate of your career and your business. You've got the plate of your relationships, and you've got the plate of yourself. And I ask people on that phone call, the magic pill is I get them to draw those 3 plates. And I ask them to mark themselves for each plate. You could do this right now if you're listening in, out of 5, how you're doing. So your first plate is business or your career. Out of 5, how do you feel you are going with that? I'm getting them to imagine spinning it. And now throw in the relationships, thinking about those important people in your life. Out of 5, how are you doing there? Are you spending the time that you want? And then that third plate is you. How are you feeling? How are you feeling in yourself out of 5? So immediately they are marking themselves across those 3 pillars, those 3 plates of career, business growth, fulfillment, whatever you want to call it, their relationships and themselves. So we've got a mark out of 5. Once they've done that, I'll say, which one's the lowest? Now, more often than not, I reckon 95, if not 8% of the time, it's them. Whichever it is, I then ask, what are the 3 things that you know, if you were to change anything from tomorrow, it would help up those numbers. It would help that plate spin a little higher. And the person I'm talking to will immediately come up with the 3 things that make them feel better. Now, the final piece here, so I've delivered some value. We've already got some immediate results for them in terms of awareness, understanding, an idea about some of the strategies that they could put in place to get better balance happening in their worlds and integration between career and life. But this final next piece gives them the confidence, because I then go, open up your calendar. Given that one thing, let's now together look at your calendar and find the time to do that thing. This exercise, in the moment, it's simple. It's a magic pill. It's a little sprinkle of magic dust that in that moment, whether they buy or not, I have replaced their questioning of value by giving them some value immediately. I have replaced their questioning around results by giving them some immediate results. And I've replaced their question about themselves by doing the exercise with them that builds their confidence. Now, we have in our business, we've identified the 3 key problems and we've identified 2 magic pills per problem. Those magic pills relating to market positioning and visibility, relating to a lack of leads and clients, and relating to this balance piece, this piece about feeling burnt out and overwhelmed and how do I get some structure into my business. So I want you to think about that, because by doing those things, you're going to build their confidence. Their confidence comes naturally when you provide value and achieve results for them in the moment. And this is all about making your potential clients feel empowered. It's about making them think, yes, I can do this. And yes, I want to work with you because you give great value, you get results, and you have shown that I can do this. You've given me a little spark of confidence that I can do this. So I want you to remember this, that the challenges that we're experiencing right now in business, these challenges of ghosting or long decision making, often what they do is they give us clues that we need to think differently, that there's opportunities to refine our approach, to stand out, to build deeper and more meaningful relationships with your clients. And I want you to think about finding that value. Listen more than you talk. Understand the unique challenges your clients are facing. Get curious about finding the very simple sprinkles, the magic pills that you know immediately can change things and get results for those potential clients, and willingly add value, willingly exchange that tip. You don't want to be just another service provider. We want to offer actionable advice in that moment that they can implement straight away. And finally, we want to build the confidence in our potential clients that they can do this. We want to create that possibility, the confidence, the hope that things can change. And so it isn't just about case studies and testimonials. It's actually you giving them a magic pill that they can do straight away, implement straight away, get results. And through doing that, it will give them the confidence. So this week, what I want you to do is grab your piece of paper. I want you to think about your target clients. I want you to get curious about what are their problems right now. Try and find three problems that they're telling you, not what you think their problems are. And I want you to think about what is it that you currently do? What are the simple things that you currently do, that you have up your sleeve, that you already teach, that you could give them in that moment? You don't have to sign a contract to give this one very simple idea, immediately actionable, that will get results quickly. I want you to identify your magic pills. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please comment below. If you love this podcast, please give me an awesome review. Share it with anyone that you think would find this useful. And any questions you have, send them to me below so that I can answer them in a future podcast. Once again, I'd love to hear what magic pills do you have in your business that you could get curious about and use them in your sales process. See you next week.